Okay, so I'm just going to wait a moment. I am back in my old software here, so we're going to see how this works. Hopefully this works better, as I know that last time there were some people that were jumping in, I think from actually my private page, and they were trying to comment and post, and they weren't able to, actually they were posting information, but I wasn't able to see it. So I'm hoping we'll give this one a try again and see how things are going to go. So as you guys jump on, give me a little message, say hello so that I know that you are here. And we'll see where things go. Hello. I don't know if it's Kara or Kara, but welcome, welcome. And I think what I'm going to do so I can see things better, we'll switch out my glasses. Getting old is so much fun. So these are the reading glasses, so I can see a little bit better. Let me see. Actually, you know what? I think the other might be better right now. Give me a second here, guys. I will try these ones. If I have to shift them out, I will. Lynn, thank you so much. Yeah, I got it permed a little while ago. You know, you start getting older, menopause hits in, nothing just wants to work the way it needs to, hair thins, all that fun stuff. So you guys can hear me okay? You guys can see me okay? Just making sure, just checking. Me a thumbs up, let me know. Cindy King, hope your day was great. Looking forward to tonight. Awesome. I'm looking forward to tonight as well. I had some sessions today with clients, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to move it to a Friday night, see who wants to show up, see how where things go tonight. Everything is 5 by 5. I hope that's a good thing then. Awesome. So for those of you that may not have been on my lives before, I guess introducing, my name is Paula Hunter. I'm a psychic medium, hypnotist, aromatherapist. I do all sorts of different things. And this is what I call my messages from spirit. And this is an opportunity to ask a question of the guides. And that's what I call your normal psychic stuff. Relationships, career, kids, things like that. And of course, I can connect with people on the other side and animals as well. I kind of do both. So where I'm a little different than some mediums is a lot of mediums will read who is around you. Because I'm actually a channel first and foremost, my guides help me key into that energy wherever it is. And, you know, if there's someone you want to talk to, typically all you have to do is ask and I can bring them forward. Oh, I'm going to turn my light here. I forgot to do that. Then you can see me. So the way that I run my messages from spirit is as I see your names come up, spirit kind of directs me. They'll pull me into certain names, and I have just a little notebook here and a pen. And as I see names come up and as I'm kind of drawn to certain people, I will call on you and ask if you have a question that you would like to have answered, or as I said, have a connection. Thank you guys so much about the comment about it being nice and clear. And hello, Jennifer from Miramichi. Nice to see ya. I'm just working my way down the list a little bit here, seeing who's in, seeing whose names I'm being drawn to. So bear with me as I just write some names down here and work my way down. Not a problem, Suzanne. So you're talking about your military background kicking in. Let's see. Lots of people. We got about 30 some odd in here right now. It's good to see everybody on a Friday evening. Come to spend some time with me. Courtney, I think you're one day behind. Please tell me it's Friday. Please don't tell me it's Thursday. Just kidding at the same time. Okay, let's go. Working my way down, working my way down. Yeah, Danielle saying it too. Yeah, please do not go back in time. That's what I was saying. I saw someone say happy Thursday. So I'm like, no, please let it be Friday. So actually I have Amy, is it Paradis? Amy Paradis, you're actually the first one that I was drawn to this evening. And again, as you guys come on, you know, say hello, let me know you're here. I'll let you know that if you just start posting questions, I won't answer you because Spirit dictates how this works, okay? And I mean, obviously, if I could read for everybody, I would, but there's not enough hours in order to do that. So I see Amy, you've jumped up and said hello. So you were the first person I was actually drawn to, Amy. So I would like to know if you have a question about something you would like to ask about, or if you were looking for connection. So again, for everyone tonight, if you're going to ask a question, be specific. The more specific that you ask, the question you have, the better I can answer it, okay? And same with if you want a connection, please don't go, well, whoever's around me. If there's someone I want to talk to, please just say, you know what, I want to talk to my dad. I want to talk to, whoever that is. And I'll be more than happy to step in and connect with them. And it's not that I can't connect with other things that are around, but this way it gives me opportunity so I can kind of get in, I can answer the questions, I can make connections, and I can kind of move forward to try and get as many people as I can, having an opportunity to have a connection, okay? And you know what, if you're really looking for something tonight and I'm not able to make a connection, you can always pop over to my website, be more than happy to set you up with a private, okay? And Courtney, I hear you. It's been a long day. So I'm just waiting for Amy to let me know what she would like to ask. And hello to anyone that I may not have said hello to yet. Okay. So which one is the one that's jumping out the most, Amy? Because again, I see you're asking about best friend, father, fur babies. So if we can kind of narrow it down, if you want to kind of narrow down for the one, I'd be more than happy to key in for you, okay? Hello, Holly. Long time no see, my dear. One of these days I'll get back that way. Now that things are slowly shifting again. So let me know what the preference is. Okay, and as I'm asking that question, it actually feels as though Father's stepping in more than anything right now. I feel like your friend's there too, but it's Dad that seems to be stepping in. This would not have been Dad's cup of tea. He wouldn't have believed in this. Okay. Bear with me here. I'm just keying into your father a little bit more here. He wasn't always the biggest talker, huh? Bear with me here. I'm just trying to find your post. Here we go. Okay. Not that he feels reserved, because I don't get someone who would hide in the corners, but he would be very selective as far as like talking. How do I put that in a manner that it might be understood? If he had something to say, who's going to say it? And if not, he was fairly quiet, right? I do feel like he had a sense of humor around him, but I get illness with him too. And it's right now I got your dad and I got your friend, and it's like they're both trying to come in at the same time. And so I need to tell them that they're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to piggyback. And that's what they try and do sometimes. A spirit will try and piggyback on each other. With your dad, I get a ramp. A ramp represents illness, which tells me he was sick for a time before he crossed, right? They're bringing me to the chest too. And it really makes me feel like he was struggling for breath prior to passing. So sometimes that can represent low oxygenated levels in the blood, but they're definitely bringing me to the chest. And it's like struggling to take a breath. Okay. Does that make any sense for you, Amy? So again, those of you that are just, throwing up, asking for connections and stuff, don't be offended, but I won't answer you right now. The way that I work for those of you that are new is as people's names come up, as I see your name, Spirit draws me to you, and you'll have an opportunity if they dictate that you're the one that needs it the most, and I will step forward and allow you to ask a question or have a connection, okay? Just so that you guys know. And I know I just saw Kim's. So Amy, I saw that you were saying yes on that. So I presume that you were talking about that hard to breathe. I know there's a little bit lag in things a little bit, okay? Because I get this sense of hard to breathe. I just see his chest rising and then just, that struggle. And this very well could have been just before he passed. He was a really strong man. So it was very hard for him to have other people take care of him. So a very proud type of individual too. Do you understand that? And welcome, Megan. I'm excited as the mandates drop here March 14th. I'm actually already got a place set up for doing a public group reading in April. So once I know for sure that the mandates are going to be dropped, then I'll be posting out about the event. So good. Yeah, and I see you're absolutely there. He's just, like I said, I get such a proud man. He doesn't know what the hell to think about me. He's like, I don't know, it's like he wants to talk to me, but he doesn't know what to believe about it. So I kind of find it funny, right? But he just wants you to know that he's around. Like, is there something specific you were looking for from him? I don't get what I call epiphany messages. I get that family had the opportunity to connect and to say goodbye, kind of, even if he was not in a state of being able to communicate so much before he passed. He still shows me being surrounded by loved ones. And it also makes me feel he had quite a few on the other side already too, because he shows me a sense of reunion on the other side too. Right? So, on this side, we're sad, we say goodbye, but when they do that transition and they take that last breath, our family is right there too. And they're celebrating because they get to have that connection with us, with us again. Right? Makes sense a little bit? It's interesting because I think sometimes you drove him crazy, but he just said to me, he goes, I wanted to know how proud I am of her, right? He says, you always followed the beat of your own drum. You always did what you wanted to do, right? So it's kind of like he's very just proud that you have a voice. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, give me a second here. I'm just going to post your comment up there. So I see what you're saying. You're saying you wanted to know if he was around your brother's mother and yourself. And you said you're also hoping he wasn't alone wherever he is. And, when we go to the other side, he's showing me he's got loved ones over there. So, and maybe that's why he was bringing it up, because it was something you were thinking about even before you said it. But I don't get him being alone. And to me, we are never alone. We never are, right? We're always surrounded by our loved ones. We're surrounded by spirit. We're surrounded by angelic beings and by source, by God, whatever it is your belief system is. We are never alone. Hey, Holly, nice to see ya. I get he comes to visit, but what he's also saying is you guys are a pretty strong family unit. So you guys come together as well. Like, you take care of each other. So he would be around, if you will, when he's needed, right? But what he's telling me, he says, you guys are doing okay. Do you understand that? And hello to anyone I may not have said hello to yet. He just keeps saying how proud he is of you. And like I said, I think sometimes you drove him crazy because you did your own thing. He didn't always get that. Just help a little bit. Yeah. You're strong-willed just like your dad. So sending love through the lines, and just know, and this is for you, this is for anyone that's here, that when we have loved ones on the other side, when we think about them, that's energy, right? Whether we talk about them, whether it's energy, that energy goes out, spirit recognizes it, right? And they will step forward. So even if you're having a really kind of bad day and you're really missing a person, you can call on them and say, you know what, I'm really missing you. I just need to feel your love. I want to feel you around me. And we can have those conversations and they'll be there, right? Like we're always taught, right? Ask and you receive. That's the way it all works. So just know that he's around, but he's just so happy that you're kind of stepping into your own place, your own shoes, like you're following your own path right now, right? And that makes him very proud. Okay. I hope that's helped a little bit for you. Know what I call epiphany messages, just more checking in than anything. And hello, Dorinda. Nice to see you, my dear. So I want to know whether Catherine Breton is in here as well. And if anyone's open to it, I mean, I can always try and go live with someone here too. Now, we've tried this before, but I think what's happened is people try and click on the link, but you have to actually copy the link and go into a browser, so on a computer, or if you're on a tablet or something like that, and you'd have to put the link in, right? So let me know if there's someone who wants to come live with me. I know Catherine Breton is who I had on my list next, and MK Barron, if she's around as well. Thank you very much, Dorinda. Yeah, I got a perm just a little while ago because, yeah, thin hair goes crazy. Okay. Give me a second, Dorinda, and we'll look at that. I'm going to talk with Catherine here first, and then maybe we can try to go live. You can help me out. So give me just a second. Again, Catherine, do you have a preference? And that's what I get a lot of times. Catherine's asking for sister-in-law, any family member, whoever wants to come. Again, if there's someone specific you want to connect with, please ask. And the reason why I do that in these group types of situations is I can move through questions and comments faster, and I can connect more easily. Not more easily, but faster, I guess, right? So versus maybe doing 3 or 4 people, I might be able to do 6, 7, or 8 people. Okay. And that's why I ask for the specific. When I'm one-on-one with someone, you know, no holds barred, and yeah, whatever it comes through. But when I do these, I try and do it as, hey, who do you want to talk to? Or what is the question that you have? Okay. Yeah. So hang in there, Tracy, too. Okay. So I'm just waiting. Give me a second here. I think I'll sister-in-law, I'll stick with that sister-in-law, okay? And hang in there, MK, because I have you on my list too. And it's funny, I just scrolled down to the bottom, Catherine, and I saw the sister-in-law too. And it's interesting because I hear sister-in-law, but I hear sister. So it was so much more, that connection between you and her was much more like a sister than anything. So obviously that represents that there was close connection there, right? And again, I get illness with her. So can you tell me, was there a cancer connection with her, Catherine? Because it makes me feel like a lot of things moving through her body. But to me, it's a cancer, so it could have started in one place. She's very sweet. So she's not someone who would really talk ill will of people, is what I get. But again, a trooper, very strong-willed. Because when I get the illness, I get her like facing it, right? So very close. Okay. If that makes sense for you, that's fine too. Or that'd be the sister side of things. Yeah. Like I said, I get this disease as she was one to shy on the sidelines. It's like, okay, this is what's going on. I'm going to face it. I'm going to work through it, and I'm just going to do the best I can. So as I said, not one to hide, not one to shy away. Okay, so maybe that's why I'm getting the cancer connection too. Because there was a cancer connection with her, okay? So she was kind of your confidant too. So she was someone you could go to and talk to about anything, right? Because she's showing me that in some ways, it's like you don't necessarily have that, that person that you can share what you used to share with her. If that makes sense. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to watch the comments too, and I got to stop doing that because it throws me off. That's okay. Is that making some sense for you, Catherine? And have you been struggling with headaches, Catherine? You don't like doctors much either, from the looks of things. Not from the looks of things, but from the energy perspective. What do you want to know from her? Again, I do get a gentle transition, but I get the illness being a big part of her life for a while, because they give me this pattern of up and down, right? But again, always the fighter, always the survivor, always, she didn't have pity parties. She didn't withdraw on herself. She didn't hide away from things. She was facing everything. Okay. And just so much love. So when we talk about her passing and family being on the other side, she says that was the hardest thing for her to deal with that transition for her, was leaving family behind, leaving her loved ones behind. Hey, Steve, I can see you this time. Okay. She just wants me to tell you too. She says, I want to tell her how much I love her, because she's kind of telling me that you've been going through a bit of a hard time right now. Okay. Is she okay? They're always okay. They're always okay. The guides have always, with me, referred to death or transition as returning home. And they've always said to me, how can it be anything but blissful when we return home? So no matter the circumstances of how we pass, when we cross to that other side, it's always love. Okay? So she's sending a lot of love for you, Catherine. She's telling me that you're in a place where you're just struggling right now. And whether that is physically or emotionally, she's showing me struggling. And she would have been your go-to to talk to. So I kind of get the feeling that you don't have someone in that capacity in the way that you did with her. That makes sense, Catherine? And hey guys, whoever haven't said hello to, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just waiting for Catherine, just so we can catch up here so I don't get too far ahead. Waiting for comments, that's all. I don't know if things are streaming a little slow or not, but there we go. Yes, yes, good. So I see your yeses, Catherine. So was there, again, anything specific you kind of want to ask? Like I said, she's showing me being concerned around you, where you're in a place where you've got some decisions to make. And it'd be like her standing behind you, giving you a little bit of a kick in the butt, saying, you know, get on with it. You know what you have to do. Right, which tells me you tend to put other people before yourself too. So when do we stop and take care of ourselves too? We're always taught to do unto everybody else, which is not a bad thing, but at the end of the day, it's also not at the extent of ourselves, and understanding that we are just as important as somebody else. This help a little bit, Catherine? Hopefully it is anyway. Good. Hello, Chelsea. And in a second, I'm just going to copy this here too. So Catherine, you said you're worried about her daughter? Her daughter's stubborn. They show me, what the guide show me with that is they show me somebody with blinders. And whenever I get someone with blinders, it's like, I can only see what's in front of me here. If there's something that's kind of out here, she doesn't see it. So that sense of stubbornness, that sense of pushing ahead, when I see the blinders, she's not going to listen to anyone else. She's doing her own thing. So mom would be still aware of that, and mom would be walking with her, but you know, she's also given me a symbol that I call, you know, hands crossing over, and that represents hands being tied, meaning there's only so much that she can do to do with that situation as well, if that makes sense. Okay. I wish I could say there's something you could reach in and do, but I don't get that there is right now. She's not open for assistance. Sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees, and nor do we want to sometimes take responsibility for things either, if you understand. If I get something that I kind of get is kind of more personal, I don't always just kind of like throw it out in public. I'll keep a little quieter sometimes too, right? So all I can do is, if you will, send her love, right? She's not open for assistance. She's also, as I said, stubborn and hard-headed, so she tends to learn her best lessons doing it the hard way. Hey, Pam. And Dorinda, if you're still in, I'm gonna put the link for you here, okay? For anyone else, don't bother trying to copy or anything because I won't let you in. Much said with love. So I'm going to send this. This is for Dorinda. When it comes up, Dorinda, you'll have to copy it and I believe put it into a browser. We'll give it a try and see if it's going to work. We'll see how it goes, okay? And Catherine, I'm glad you understand. You know, sometimes, well, most times, we want to help people that we care about, but it's also understanding that sometimes that soul has to experience and go through certain things in order to grow, you know, within itself. And when we love someone, we obviously don't want to see them struggle. But sometimes we do really have to step back and allow that to go on. Okay. So I hope that's helped a little bit. So I'm going to see if Dorinda can get that link and see what's going to happen. I haven't tried it in this in a long time, so I'm kind of jumping back. Hi, Michelle. Hope you're doing well, my dear. And I hope that's helped a little bit, Catherine. So we're going to see how the other goes. And MK, hang in there because I haven't forgot you, because we'll do that for you as well. How's BC, Michelle? Hopefully it's pretty good out that way too. Yeah. And Catherine, the guides are saying one step at a time, because they show me in some cases it's like I want to be moving through something a lot faster than what I am. And it's understanding sometimes you just have to stop and just be in the moment. Okay? Because as much as you're saying there's some stuff going around her daughter, she keeps saying there's some stuff going on around you too. And I'm not necessarily going to bring it up in public, but just know that she's aware of it too. Nice to hear it's sunny. Yeah, we have, at least where I am, there's a lot of snow that's been gone. Tomorrow we're getting a swack of rain, so they'll probably get rid of a lot of the rest of what we have, at least in this area here. So we will see. So I'm just waiting to see if Dorinda's going to be able to jump in on that link. And we'll see what happens. Hello, Laura. And as I said, MK Barron, I have you coming up here too as well, if you are still here. And if you are still here, you can always jump in and just let me know what the question or connection is that you would like. And I can kind of just write it down here so that I can come to that right after. And Dorinda, if it's not going to let you, you know, not a problem, because what I'm probably going to wind up doing, I just haven't had time yet, is maybe create a landing page where you guys can go in, you know, and if you want to come live with me, you can give me your email. I will do a draw off those emails and I'll choose, you know, maybe 3 or 4 people that I'll bring live. So prior to, I'll give you the link so you can come in, if that makes sense. Right. Debbie, yes, I did see your request. The way I do my lives here this way is Spirit directs me to certain people, and I have a notebook here and I put their name down and I kind of go from there. So I do have people that just kind of throw comments or questions or connections and looking for things. Spirit is the one that drives the car here, right? This is what I do for a living. If you do not get a question or connection answered and you do have some questions, reach out, right? I'd be more than happy to set up private sessions, okay? Not a problem. And Pam, yeah, I'm hoping so. I just think it'd be a little bit more fun and I don't say entertaining, but to be able to, you know, see the person and just do that kind of back and forth, right? That it'd be something a little different. So I'll just make a decision whether I'll do it through this or do it through something like Zoom or something and just live stream to Facebook. I might do that as well. And Debbie, you're very, very welcome. So Dorinda, obviously that isn't going to function this evening, and that's fine. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I'll get it working at some point. So MK, I know I saw that you wanted to connect with your dad. So give me just a second here, okay? Okay. Oh, I see your dad, and then I see you made another thing. So what direction should you take going forward? Return to work or stay retired and help mom? So I'll stay with that right now. And I was still keying in with your dad here a little bit too. But when you're talking about returning to work, to be very honest, the guy just saying you don't want to, right? So when we think about the things that we should or shouldn't be doing, I mean, also think about how you're feeling here and going, what is that deeper part of yourself really saying? You've been helping mom off and on for a while, right? And you really don't want to go back to work, right? But how do I put it? When we talk about going back to work, I don't get full time. I don't get anything like that. I get that when you're talking about wanting to help mom, I get it more kind of on and off. How do I put that? Here and there, helping her here and there, but not on a regular basis. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I'm going to come in and work with her 3 days a week, right? Because that's not what you want to do. Okay. And as I say that, the guides say, but there's also health considerations going on here too. So I'm not sure if that's referring to health of you or health of her. I think it's more around you. I mean, you retired for a reason. Okay. So it isn't that you shouldn't be helping your mom, because the guides tell me that when your mom needs that, you'll be there, and you would be there for her in a minute, right? In an instant. That's not an issue, right? But to basically say, as I was saying earlier, I'm going to work 3 days a week with you. The guides are saying that is not your path at this time. Okay. So is your mom kind of running the business that your dad had? I see your little true there. And no problem, Dorinda. It's not the first time that I've tried to do this and it hasn't worked. And I think that's because I have to send it out beforehand. So they're logging in from that perspective. I'm just waiting to catch up with a comment here from MK. Is that making some sense? So not a family business, or I see no family business. So I don't know if you're meaning it isn't a family business or not. So the reason why I'm asking too is it feels like mom's in a place where, you know, it's almost like her thinking about time to, I don't say close up shop, because she enjoys what she does too, but she's pushing herself too much. Right. And the guides are literally saying that she's coming to a place of retirement, if you will, too. Okay. So not perfect. I just want to make sure I understood that. See, that's the thing about trying to do it with a chat sometimes. It's hard to, you know, one, you're so much behind because there is a lag between here and what comments come through, and just trying to keep up, right? So when you're asking the question, what direction should you be going? Not back to work. Stay retired. Take care of your health. Mom needs to stop and take a step back, because she is going to a place where it's becoming too much for her too. Hey, Deb. But your mom isn't ready for what they show me is what I call the three monkeys, which is see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to listen to it. So mom's slowing down, and it's almost like her own body's telling her she needs to slow down a little bit too, but she's not listening. So are you talking about, when we're talking about helping mom, are you talking like moving in and helping her, or just trying to be there more for her? Then I can get a little bit clearer for you. Because I get that you're helping mom now. That isn't anything you haven't been doing. Hey, Eric. Good to see you. I just want to make sure I can understand the question, MK. But I get your helping mom anyway. It's one thing I find. I jumped over to my old software tonight, and I find that the comments are coming in really slow tonight. So I may have to try back with the other one again and see how things are going to move. Yeah, MK, I think when I was reading the question, first it was like mom having a business and you going to work for mom to help her with the business. And then it was kind of like, well, that doesn't feel right. Right. So it made me feel more just helping her with what she needs. Right. And that's why I was trying to figure out exactly what was going on there so I could answer that a little bit better. So yeah, I mean, I get you're kind of doing that now, and that's okay. Just make sure that you're always still honoring yourself. I don't say first, but that's exactly what I heard. Right. So if you're really feeling under the weather, you know, it doesn't mean we're going to try and push past it. I mean, obviously, if it's an emergency, it's different, right? But you being able to listen to your body too when it's talking to you to say, hey, today's not a good day, you can go over tomorrow and help. You know what I mean? So honoring yourself through that process too. Do you understand what I mean by that? Mom's set in her ways. She likes things a particular way too. So it makes me feel like her home or her house, you know, it's like this doesn't put here, it gets put over here. So she's very, you know, set as far as how she likes things. Right. And dad's never far from her either. Yeah, this one's running. My program here is running really slow for comments, so it doesn't make it very good tonight because of that. So I'll have to go back and try the other one tomorrow and see if it works. Or tomorrow, sorry, in 2 weeks when I go live again, see if it works any better. Maybe by that time I'll be ready to set up so I can have some people go live with me. I'll do both. I'll have some people go live with me on camera, and then we'll also do some ones. We'll also do some questions or connections for people that come in as well. Right, but it's a great opportunity to jump on with me, because like right now I'm talking to you guys and I haven't had any comments come up at all. So I think this is running really slow for me tonight. Or as I said, I went back to the software I used to use. I haven't used it here in a couple months, but I thought I'd try it out. But looks like it's just not as fast as the other one. So I might have to go back to that at the end of the day. I'm just waiting to find out whether that helps MK a little bit or not. As I said, right now I'm not getting any messages whatsoever coming up. As Bridget posts. There we go. I'm getting a few more through here now. So my apologies if things are kind of all over the place tonight. The messages are coming in really weird tonight. You're very welcome, MK. Hopefully that's helped a little bit. Like I said, yeah, Pam, you're saying I don't see the comments consistently. I'm the same way, and it makes it hard trying to do this if I'm missing comments or missing. God, I hate. Sometimes technology is a wonderful thing. Other times it really sucks. And that's where I may wind up going over to Zoom and maybe trying something like that. I can have so many people in through there, but that is a lot of, well, it's video and audio too, but that could be interesting and fun as well. We'll have to see how that goes. So yeah, hopefully that's helped a little bit, MK. I want to know whether Stacy Brown is still in here. And then Dorinda, I'll do you after Stacy, okay? If she's still here. And if I get a comment that comes up. As I said, they seem to be really slow tonight. Got a mind of its own. So I'm just waiting to see whether I get any comments from Stacy. And if not, then I'll go to Dorinda as well. So far, I haven't heard anything from Stacy, but I see Dorinda there. Dorinda, do you want to ask a question or have a connection, my dear? Feel free to ask, seeing as everything's a little slow. Okay. What do you want to ask, Dorinda? Okay, there's another stranger I haven't seen in a while. Hello, Laura. So Dorinda, let me know what you would like to ask or what connection you'd like as well. And again, you guys, if you're looking to connect with someone on the other side, you've got some pressing questions, you know what? Or reach out. I'd be more than happy to set you up with a session. I wonder why my information disappeared there too. That's weird. Be more than happy to set you up with a private session, right? And we do it. I do it in person as of the 14th here in New Brunswick. The mandates are shifting, so be doing more, one-on-ones. I've been doing that now, but a lot of Zoom sessions since COVID hit. So give me a second here. Dorinda, I get a lot of laughter around your mom. Your mom feels like she was pretty social, because it'd be like sitting down at the table, having a coffee, having a tea, and just, she had her finger on the pulse. So she knew what was going on in the community, So I don't say gossip, but sometimes that kind of comes into that place where she'd like to talk about things and people, right? They show me the kitchen. The kitchen represents someone who liked to cook or bake. So again, very strong family ties. And I'm thinking she was a pretty good cook. So she'd probably be someone that when you went over there too, it's like trying to put food in your mouth. And I see your comment about her being social. Yeah, she comes across that way. It'd be like, hey, let's sit down, have a chat. And she just wants to know what's going on. How's your day? What's new? She would just be asking everything. Did she have mobility issues before she passed as well? I see that. Yes, the best. Must have been the food. She showed me what I get is like a napkin over her legs, and that usually represents. It can represent issues with the joints of the knees, but it can also represent that she didn't have much mobility, so she couldn't move around very much. Right, and I think that frustrated her more than anything, because she was always kind of a doer. Right, she was always wanting to do things for everybody else. So not being able to do those things to the capacity of what she did frustrated her. And I see that you said, yeah, that she had issues, right? She's saying she was happy that, and I hear daughter, so you must have some sisters as well, right? She's saying that she was happy to have people come over, kind of take care of her, and it kind of filled in that void of having the communication, right? Megan, reach out, drop me a line. You can send me a message through Facebook, or you go through my website. You can post something through there, or just, reach out. I do a lot of parties these days. I have for a while. So I tend to get busier as summer starts kicking in. So, and Dorinda, I see your comment about it did stop her a lot. And I get almost a sense of irritability, because she wasn't an irritable type of person. Like, I get she would always try and be in that positive frame of mind. And more when she started moving into that later of life where she was having health issues and not being able to do things. And I don't know if she had an arthritis or not as well, but she shows me like trying to grasp things or hold on to things. And she struggled with that, right? And that's where she would get frustrated, right? And it's funny because it's like she's making jokes. She would be, I don't say prim and proper, but I don't think she swore very much. But then it shows, kind of shows me later in life, like trying to do something and like dropping something, and she'd be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? She would say something. She's making a joke about it. Right? So yeah, there was, so it must be, maybe it was her sisters, what she's talking about, because she was showing me sisters being there and helping her. So it was different people coming in and out and helping her in different capacities. So it might have been just, coming and cooking a meal and bringing it over, or helping her with other little things. So I take it the yup is what I was talking about, the language a little bit. I think it's funny. She thinks it's funny too, because it's like, I would never have done this. But later in life, she was a little bit more expressive with her words, shall we say. That makes sense a little bit. And she's okay. And I know that you know that. I know it isn't, anything off the side that you don't know she's okay. So is there anything in particular you wanted to know about? Okay. One sec. So was there like an anniversary that came up recently? So I don't know if that's like whether it was like the anniversary of her passing or whether it was her birthday or something that was recent. Makes me feel like it was back some. I don't get it being right now. I don't get it coming. It feels previous, but it somehow she's tying that in with her. Does that make any sense? I don't know. It's coming back to the month she died, or. Hmm. Because for some reason she's bringing that up. No, what I call epiphany or anything like that, right? But she's definitely bringing it up. So birthday's coming. How far away is it, Dorinda? Because it makes me feel like normally it's like a milestone, and a milestone, as I said, a birthday, the date of passing. It can represent an anniversary sometimes too, right? But it's almost like she's triggering me in. So I don't know if you do anything special for her, for that time frame or not. But for some reason, she's bringing it up. I see you saying that you say her birthday's coming up. So okay, so that's not that far at all then. Okay. So I don't know if you have your own little celebration with her or not, but if there's something that you do with her, or for her, or roughly around that time, just know that your mom's going to be there. She's going to be around you during that time frame. And I get around family, so, or I don't know if it's some family event, but she's going to be around. Okay. You drink your favorite drinks? She laughs when you say that, and she says, that if I could be, I'd be sitting there right next to you. And then she's like raising a glass and cheering, right? Okay. Nice. You go eat a meal for her. Well, know that she's going to be sitting with you. She's going to be with you, during that time, and she appreciates it, right? When we think of our loved ones, right, that sends that message out to them, and it attracts them, and it makes them feel good because they feel remembered, right? She's telling me, she goes, I knew how to party. I said, very sweet. I wouldn't want to cross her because look out, she'd come flying with those words as well. But I get just such a sweet personality. Does that help a little bit? Hopefully. Awesome. That's great. So I want to know whether Tracy Atkins is still in here too. You are very, very welcome, Dorinda. And your mom thanks you too. Because she says, in the years that she's been passed, she says you've never forgotten about her. And not that I would think that you would forget about her. She doesn't mean it that way. But again, when we hold them in our heart and hold them in our memories, it keeps them alive. So she's kind of saying there isn't a day that goes by that you're not sharing your day. And, so you still have a lot of communication with her. You still talk to her quite a bit. And she's honored that you still do that. Right? It's not kind of like, oh, it's just her birthday coming up, so I'm going to think about her then or whatever. She's very much, sorry, I got sidetracked there. She's very much about, I lost that train of thought, so you have to forgive me. I looked over the comments and something else came in, and then I lost the frequency of what they were giving me. But yeah, she's never far. Okay. Every day. Yeah, I see that. And I think that's what she's acknowledging, and it's their way of letting us know that they're never far, ever. Okay. Megan, you're saying, do young children that pass stay young? How do I put that? What I typically say to that is, the essence of the soul doesn't have an age. So when a medium or someone is connecting in with a person, or a child or a baby, I know for myself, if they say passed as a baby, I don't necessarily see them as a baby, right? if you follow certain other mediums, like Sylvia Brown used to say that everybody, when they went back to the spirit world, were in like their 20s, because that is like your best time frames. Okay. For me, if I see someone who passed as a grandparent, older in life, I don't see them that way. And same with children. I don't see them typically in that perspective. They'll give me images of things like that to help me understand that maybe what their age was. But from a soul perspective, when I key in that way, they don't show up as children or as babies. They show up as, like I said, late teens, early 20s is what I usually get as. That's what I perceive when I key into it. So I hope that's kind of answered that question a little bit. So Tracy, I see your comment about wanting to hear from your dad. Yeah. So Megan, if you're saying it, so an 18-month-old, again, if I was to key into it, I probably would not pick him up at that age. And that's for me why it's a little bit more difficult sometimes, is because I kind of read a lot from the essence of the soul, right? So it's a little bit different when you can think of the soul going through the process of reincarnation. So having multiple lifetimes. So sometimes picking up from the individual soul or this lifetime and going to the deeper part of the individual that has had multiple lifetimes. So you can have different information coming forward, at least for me, the way I work, because I am a channel. And it can shift and change depending on what level I'm keying into. Okay. Don't know if that makes sense or not, but there's a lot of different ways in which we can perceive things. Okay. So Tracy, I see your comment about wanting to hear from your dad. So give me just a second here. This would not have been his cup of tea either, because that's the first thing I get, is he's saying he would have thought this stuff was crap. Right. And for some reason, he showed me like driving. So did he used to like drive a truck, or like, I almost get the sense of tinkering. So when I say driving a truck, it can be a pickup, but it can also be like a tractor trailer type of thing. He showed me he loves to drive, and I don't know why he's showing me this. So that makes some sense to you? Because I just get this. Driving. Or that, yes, could have been coming back from not believing in this stuff. So did he have his own, well, maybe sound like a stupid question. Did he have his own truck? Of course he probably did if he was a carpenter. I'm trying to understand why he's showing me driving a vehicle, right? Because I think there's some meaning in there. I just don't quite understand what it is he's trying to tell me. So that's the fun thing about doing this work. It's like you can get a symbol, and our job is to try to figure out what that represents. So sometimes it's like I have one little puzzle piece, and maybe it's a piece of the sky. Now I have to try and figure out how this little piece of the sky fits into the rest of it. Okay? Making jokes about it, but yeah. Give me a second here. I see you had commented on there about him being a carpenter. I hear jack of all trades, master of none. He really loved his work, though. Okay. Did he have a lot of arthritis later in life as well? And I think my comments are like slowing right down again and hiccuping or being stuck. It makes it frustrating for me. I'm trying to stay where I need to stay, and it frustrates me. So it starts bringing me out of where I need to be for doing the work that I do too, which is my own. It's my own stuff. It's no one else's. And I see the possibly. So I'm not sure what the possibly represents there, Tracy. Another one that was hard worker. So they show me weathered hands. Family was very important to him as well. Okay. Well, they just showed me breathing stopped. So the diabetes could definitely have played a part in his joints. Because it's almost like what I get is like, say, trying to do the work that I did, but not being able to, because again, I can't grasp things very well. And when you talk about him having diabetes, he didn't take care of himself, because all of a sudden when I get him keying in, it's like somebody rolling their eyes, and it's kind of like, oh, that, right? So to me, that tells me someone that didn't always pay attention and do the things that he was supposed to do from the perspective of that disease. I'm a type 2 diabetic as well. So I kind of get how that goes at times. But he shows me not always honoring himself and doing what he had to do around that. So it's kind of like what he shows me is like looking around to see who's watching him. And if someone's watching him, okay, I'll take my medication. And if they're not kind of watching, it's like, oh, I'll just, I got to do this right now. So I'm not doing that. Right. So from the perspective of the disease, he wasn't honoring what he needed to honor. We'll put it that way. So I'm not saying that it made his diabetes really, really bad. But I think later in life, he was recognizing side effects as a result of that, because he's bringing me to the eyes too. So I think he had issues with eyesight too at that point, right? When you talk about your dad passing suddenly the way he did, again, very proud man. And the last thing that he would have ever wanted is to have his family hanging out around him, watching him die. Sometimes you can't be delicate about that, but that's kind of what he's showing me. He loved his family more than, he said, I wasn't going to let them watch me suffer. Right? So that comes from a place of love, even though for us left here, sometimes it's very difficult. Do you understand what I mean? And everything seems to be slowing down again. I apologize, guys, for tonight. It's kind of a hit and miss and all over the place just because the way the signal is running through here. So, yeah, you're saying yes, that she gets it. Good. Was there something specific you were looking for from your dad, Tracy? I mean, the way he's putting it, he says, I wouldn't have done anything different. Right? He lived his life the way he wanted to. And he's telling me that some of his family harped on him about it, but he says, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So that sense of stubbornness being there as well. But it makes me feel the vision going later on. So I don't know if that's actually a glaucoma or something like that too, but they show me that his own body started deteriorating fairly quickly, right? Because of that. Make sense? Oh, I'm a little off tonight, Megan. I appreciate that though. And like I said, that's just because sitting, waiting, trying to, it throws things off a little bit for me. So, okay. Just want to know if he's with mom in heaven and if they're okay. And again, I mean, everybody always wants to know if their loved one is okay. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, like I said, my guides have always referred to death or transition as returning home. Okay. So we can think about, how we feel when we go home, right? That's love. That's being surrounded by family. That makes you feel good. And it's the same over there. So when we talk about having the connection back with mom, he had a sense of humor too, because as I key into him more, he goes, mom, he says, she couldn't get along without me. And then he laughs, right? And your mom would be sitting there kind of rolling your eyes like, yeah, right. More work when you're around, this type of thing. But it also shows me a very strong relationship, right? They had that ability to banter back and forth with each other. So connection, yeah. Tracy, do you have a brother on this side? Or would your father have had a brother on this side? I get the yes, yeah. They'd be fun to sit and watch go back and forth. But he loved her to pieces. She was his life. Okay. Now, Tracy, when I ask about the brothers, are his brothers still here though? And the reason why I'm asking is he's showing me what I heard was being around a brother. So I didn't know if that meant that you had a brother that he's around or one of his brothers. Because I kind of get the feeling like he's concerned about somebody here. And it's a brother connection. So brother-in-law, a connection back with him. He seems to be around them in the spirit side right now quite a bit. Okay, so you're saying yes. So if there's some, if you will, health issues, I guess, going on around them being here, just know that he's around them. So I kind of get the feeling that one of his brothers is struggling right now. So when you're asking about connection back with mom, it's like, yeah, we've had the connection, it's going to be there, but all of a sudden he shows me like turning back towards, if you will, the earth plane and being around this brother who's struggling a little bit right now. Make sense? Yeah, this one's way too slow for me tonight. I'm gonna have to look into some more technology. Maybe we'll have to move it to Zoom so I can move through things a little bit better. And Tracy, I see your comment about so I just feel like there's some health concerns there, and your dad's kind of standing guard, right? And I'll kind of leave it at that right now. That help a little bit? It just makes me feel like his brother isn't far off from transitioning either. You are very welcome, Tracy. Hey, Ellen. Well, guys, it's coming up just after 9 here, and I don't know about you, but I'm finished torturing myself through this slow comments. I'm just kidding. I have I like to have fun. But tonight just seems really weird. As I said, I went back to my old software. I thought maybe it'll run a little bit better, but if anything, it was actually worse. I use Zoom for my clients all the time. That's what I use when I do my readings and sessions, because it just works like a damn. But you can actually, from Zoom, you can stream into Facebook as well. You can't get the comments from Facebook, but you can stream. So it's still easy enough for me to set something up, and here's the Zoom link, and then come live, and I can still choose people to go live with me. And it helps me because it'll, come into some of my marketing as well. For those that are open and want to go live, with me. So that may be something I'll try too. I may try, I've tried the Facebook direct live, but it doesn't like my Starlink, so it messes up as well. And so maybe I'll try the other one again too. So we'll see where things go. I've got a couple options that I'm going to try. So it just might be a little bit of trial and error for the next little bit, but we'll get it so it's working better. Okay. So with that, my dears, thank you for coming to spend some time with me. I don't usually run on a Friday night. I'm going to go kick back with my hubby for the rest of the night, and I hope you guys enjoy your weekend as well. I don't know about you, but for those of you in New Brunswick, I'm pretty darn excited about the 14th. As I said, I've got a plan to do a live, a public group reading here in the St. George area in April. So as soon as we get kind of by that 14th, and I know for sure the mandates are gone, and I can actually post and say, hey, come and join me. Let's do a live and come together and actually talk to each other. I think that's one of the things I miss the most, is just seeing people's faces and just being apart with them. I really miss that. I'm a huggy person, so having to have that distance from people, and I think for a lot of people it's been really difficult. So looking forward, got a group coming up, and hopefully in March, April, May, set something up in St. John area, and then in summertime I'll be hitting St. Martin's area again to do some sessions too. So if you guys want to book a session, reach out. You can go to my website, paulahunter.ca, nice and easy. You can drop me a line, and any questions, just reach out. Okay, so you guys have yourself a wonderful weekend. Take care.